It was a mild and cloudy day with cool southerly winds, a big contrast to yesterday. We only saw a top of 22 degrees in Terry Hills, 24 in Cronulla, 25 in Parramatta and Campbelltown, a warmer 26 in Richmond and in Penrith. We saw some rain in some suburbs, 1 to 3 millimetres falling around the north and northwest. We also saw some light showers around the Hunter, the northern tablelands and the northwest of the state. Armidale picking up 10 millimetres of rain, 5 millimetres falling in Tamworth. Temperatures along the coast ranging from a top of 23 in Newcastle, Wollongong and Batemans Bay, up to a warmer 30 in Grafton, while inland areas remain very, very warm, 39 the top in Dubbo, 41 in Narrabri. Tomorrow, heavy rain and storms will extend over the northern tropics, while a developing tropical low will maintain flooding in northeast Queensland, and we could see some severe storms start to develop across northeastern New South Wales. Brisbane heading for a hot day tomorrow, 32 degrees, cloudy and 29 in Canberra, a cool 21 degrees on the way for Melbourne, partly cloudy and 27 for Adelaide, and it will be hot and sunny in Perth, heading for a top of 38 degrees. We are expecting some rain, and as I mentioned, those storms across the northeast of the state tomorrow, they could be severe. The heaviest rain is expected around Coffs Harbour and Port Macquarie. It will be another warm day for inland areas, heading for 40 in Narrabri, 34 in Wagga Wagga, while the coast will range from a coolish 23 in Wollongong up to a warmer 33 in Grafton. This is how Sydney will look tomorrow: cloudy with a high chance of showers and a possible storm with light to moderate southerly winds. Now, if that rain arrives, we could see around 8 millimetres along the coast and up to 10 millimetres in our western suburbs. Heading for a top of 24 degrees in Terry Hills and Cronulla, 25 for Gosford and Parramatta, and 26 for Penrith, the City and Campbelltown. Looking ahead, it will start to warm up and fine up. We're expecting just a light shower or two on Friday, 26 degrees, partly cloudy on Saturday, 27, a warmer 28 on Sunday, but then the warm weather will really return next week. We're heading for a top of 30 degrees by next Wednesday, while we'll see those nights drop to around 19 to 21 degrees. In our west, we'll see a shower or two on Friday, nothing too heavy though, a top of 25. Saturday should be mainly fine, 27, fine and warm on Sunday, 31, 32 on Monday, and a hot and sunny 35 on Wednesday. Those nights remaining warmer than average, Georgie.
Yeah, some hot days ahead too. Thanks for that, Amber. And
hello again. We had a lovely day. We enjoyed settled and mild conditions. In the city, morning cloud and a low of 15 gave way to sunny skies and a maximum of 21 degrees just before 2 p.m. The southerly winds make it feel cooler than these maximums suggest. Ringwood and Coldstream were the warmest, making it to 24 degrees, the low 20s through the south. Statewide, quite a few places fell to single figures. Horsham down to 8 degrees, Rutherglen and Ballarat fell to 9 degrees, and Falls Creek all the way down to 4. Places through the north cracked the 30-degree mark and the low 20s through the south. Flooding rain through northeast Queensland has forced the closure of the Bruce Highway near Ingham, and in the past 24 hours, Cairns has recorded 200 millimetres. Tomorrow, that low will bring more rain to far north Queensland, and this high in the bite will continue to direct cool southerlies over us in Victoria, while funneling hot air from the interior all the way over to Western Australia. So tomorrow, Perth, a sunny and hot top of 38 degrees. Cairns is forecast to have showers, possible storms, 31 degrees. Brisbane, a partly cloudy top of 32. Sydney, 26 degrees with showers. Canberra, a cloudy 29 degrees. A light shower for Hobart, 22. And Alice Springs, well, they've had 10 consecutive days over 40 degrees. Tomorrow, 40 again. In Victoria, temperatures slightly below average. Cool, dry and partly cloudy in the south, with isolated showers just along the southwest corner and also about the far eastern ranges. Maximums of 21 and 22 through the southwest, 30 and 31 degrees through the Mallee. Wodonga is forecast to be the warmest place in the state with a top of 33. A cloudy start around town and then breaks of afternoon sunshine, maximums generally in the low to mid-20s. A cloudy day for Geelong, a low of 13 and a top of 22 degrees. In the city, a clear night will be replaced by a cloudy morning with a low of 14. That cloud should then break up and clear for some long stretches of sunshine, 21 degrees in the afternoon, and the UV will be very high. Looking ahead, and Friday, a top of 24 degrees with a few clouds about. That heat really starts to build on Saturday. We might see a foggy start and then a sunny 32 degrees, and then that heat builds through the following days. So Sunday, a low of 20 and a top of 37 degrees with the chance of a storm. Monday, a low of 22, warming up to 37 again. Tuesday, look at this, an overnight low of 24. Then a sunny top of 37, which is 11 degrees above average. Wednesday, finally, a cooler day under southerly winds, a top of 25. Tomorrow will be similar to today, settled and mild with light winds. Cloud will clear through the afternoon, a low of 14 and a top of 21. And don't get complacent with the cloud cover. That UV will still be very high.
Well, Melissa, the severe weather warning we've had in place for the last 24 hours has now been cancelled. And the reason for that, we've seen that tropical low form off the coast of Cairns earlier this morning. It's now moving further east, so away from the coast. Expected to continue on that trajectory through until late Friday, early Saturday, when it's going to make a turn for the coast. And that's when we could see this system develop and strengthen into a tropical cyclone. I'll have more on that with the chart in just a moment. Let's first up have a look at temps from around the southeast today. Another warm one, up around 30 degrees it was for most of us along the coast today. 31 the top for the city, and getting up to 33 degrees in the west for Ipswich. A few showers and storms around the Darling Downs this afternoon, but mostly sunny conditions for the rest of us. Tomorrow's weather map, you can see that tropical low off the coast of Cairns. As I mentioned, we still have the possibility of that developing into a cyclone. Could also see two more tropical lows develop later this week, and certainly there are a chance of developing into cyclones over the weekend. If we're off interstate tomorrow, got partly cloudy conditions on the way for Melbourne, a shower or two for Sydney, partly cloudy for Adelaide, an absolute scorcher for Perth, getting up into the high 30s. And for you in Darwin, high chance of showers, looking at up to 10 millimetres, and a possible late storm, top of 33 degrees. Falls of around 25 millimetres tomorrow possible for Cairns and Mackay. We could see Townsville, the heaviest of the rainfall tomorrow, up to 50 millimetres with possible storms, and sunshine through the west for the Isa and Longreach. We could see a storm late tomorrow afternoon around Roma. Partly cloudy, low 30s along the Capricornia coast tomorrow for Rocky and Gladstone, and pretty similar for you through the Fraser coast as well. And then here in the southeast, another beautiful day to look forward to. We'll have light winds around until around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Not much chance of any shower activity for any of us. Tops of 30 degrees again along the coast. Ipswich topping out again at 33. And out on the bay, a great day. East-northeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas below a metre. For the city tomorrow, shooting for a top of 31, dropping down tonight to 22. And then looking ahead, possible very light showers both Saturday and Sunday. Could see up to 3 millimetres on Monday. For Ipswich, possible showers over the weekend, and could see a shower or two on Monday. Here on the Gold Coast, could see up to 5 millimetres both days over the weekend. And for the sunny coast, it's a pretty similar outlook. Monday next week could see up to 10 millimetres in the gauge. Exciting times up north, Melissa. All the latest. We'll keep you up to date.
Hello again. Well, we know that heat is on the way in a few days, but at least our gardens can be prepared now. We have been out here at Garden Goodness at Port Adelaide this afternoon, getting all the tips on how to prepare your garden for the incoming heat wave. Today, no real heat to speak of. It's been very pleasant indeed. We sat comfortably in the high 20s around Adelaide, and in fact, right now it's around 22 degrees in the city. So across the suburbs, we have seen conditions really pretty much, in the 20s. We did have windy conditions along the coast. We got to 26 at Glenelg and Noarlunga, and plenty of blue skies too. So dry skies and warm conditions across the north today, 30 degrees at Port Augusta and Port Pirie, tapering off into the 20s through the south, with Kingscote reaching 25 and Naracoorte 26. On the charts, well, right now the high pressure system is our friend because it's bringing the cooler airflows, but in a few days it will switch and it will start ramping up the heat, and then we can all start grumbling at it. Interstate, we're seeing a run of cloudier weather around Melbourne with 21 and Canberra with 29, and we're watching a tropical low off northern Queensland that's dumping a whole lot of rain. Back to SA, we're looking at dry skies. Those winds are persisting around Port Augusta and Whyalla, with temperatures in the high 20s there and just 24 for Port Lincoln. Renmark and Nuruyutpa are still looking quite sunny and warm, but an overcast day is in store for Mount Gambier with a top of 24 there. One marine wind warning in place for tomorrow, that's for the upper west coast, while on metro waters we're expecting south-southeasterlies to 15 knots and seas to 1.5 metres. Around Adelaide tomorrow we are still sitting in the sweet spot, things certainly not ramping up just yet. We're still soaking up the easy weather for now, so it's 27 for Golden Grove and Marion and 24 at Mount Barker. In the city we're looking at around 27 degrees with an overnight low of around 14. Now things start to ramp up kind of halfway through the weekend. We go from 31 and then we go right up into the 30s. In fact, we have a couple of 38-degree days in a row on Sunday, Monday. Then we're still looking really hot for Tuesday. Wednesday looks like it'll still be very hot. So even though those numbers will wobble around a little bit as that forecast gets a bit closer, really the gist of it is that it's going to be really hot for quite a few days in a row. So we have got our tips to look after our gardens, and by the sounds of it, Kate, it seems like you and me both have a bit of mulching to get to over the next couple of days.